Okay, so I'm going to show you guys how to set up Google's form so that you can do your questionnaire. So you want to go into your Google Drive and log in like you normally would, and then you want to press new over here, like you would when you would get a Google Slides, but instead of a Google Slides, you want to go to more, and then you want to go to Google Forms. Okay, I'll open up a new tab. Okay, and it will look like this. Now it looks a little bit unfriendly, but it's actually quite easy to use. So first of all, we want to change the name to whatever questionnaire you want to make. So I'm going to make a film questionnaire about a trailer. Okay, so spoof, actually, action film questionnaire, and then short little description. I'm making this questionnaire as part of my GCSE media coursework. Please answer honestly, and thank you for your support. Making sure that any spelling are changed. Okay, so we've got our title and our questionnaire ready to go. Okay, so it generates the first question for you, so I just click on there and then I can make my first question. So the first thing I want to ask is what their name is. Now if we go over to here, it gives us all the kind of options that we want, okay, and we want a short answer, okay, so I'm going to click short answer, okay, and we're going to make that a required question, okay, so that they have to answer it, okay, as part of the questionnaire response, okay, and then I'm going to actually, because I know for the next one I just want them to write in their age, I'm going to duplicate it, okay, by pressing that button there, so I'll show you that again. Okay, and then it will make a new thing where I can change what it says to age. Okay, I'm going to duplicate it again, and I might do ethnicity, and that will be it for those ones. Okay, so then if I want to add a question, I can just press the little plus sign. If I want to add like a new bit of text, I can do, but you shouldn't really need to do that. If I want to add a picture question, I'll do that, or a YouTube link, or a completely different section. You might want to add a YouTube bit if you want them to watch a video and comment on it, but that might be quite long-winded, a question. So I'm just going to add a new question for now. So, do you like films? Okay, yes or no. Now what's really important with this type of question, okay, is that multiple choice isn't actually multiple choice. It's only one choice, okay? So don't be fooled by the way that the question is structured, because it's actually not a multiple choice. If you want them to answer more than one answer, go to check boxes and that will work better, okay? So multiple choice, yes or no, and you can add an other as well, so that they can be like, sometimes I like films, okay? And then I'm going to make that required as well, okay? New question, I'm going to be like, which of the following films do you prefer? Okay, so then I'm going to ask, do some check boxes. So something like, let's do James Bond, Spectre by James Bond, or I'm going to do Bridesmaids, so that's like a romantic comedy. I'm going to do Star Wars, perhaps. I don't know. So you can do loads of options, and that means they can pick up more than one with that kind of option, which is good. Okay, but I just don't think that's a very great question, so I'm going to do another type of question. So for that, which is something like how many times a week do you watch films? So could be every day, every week, monthly, yearly, never. Okay, and then they can, I'm going to make that a multiple choice because then it's only one answer. Okay. So something like a multiple checklist question would be, what props would you expect to see in an action film? Okay, so maybe a knife, a gun, chainsaw, a helicopter, a car, a train, add other, and then do choose from a checklist, checkboxes. Press OK. Right, now I was telling you about if you wanted to add some images in there. So I'm going to add a new question. Okay, I'm also going to select an image. Okay, so if I find some images on here, so let's say action film poster. And we get some different types of posters. So say I got one where it's like a kind of military fire-based poster, and save that to my desktop. I got a poster where it's like almost like superhero-like. Okay, or I got a poster which was like more like guns and shooting. So let's go wanted. I'll do. Then maybe something like a kind of assassin movie. And then maybe something like something with guns or something like that. Right, so it's got like different kind of flavours you're going for there of action films. Let me just pick one more. Let's do a James Bond style thing as well. So it's a little bit more sophisticated. Okay, and then if I wanted to add those, I'd go back to my questionnaire. I'd choose to upload my image, which as you can see may take a little while. If your computer is as slow as mine. So go to my desktop, find my image. It's one of them. Press OK. It should upload it pretty quickly because it's quite a small one. Okay, and then I can label it, put it above my question. So by dragging it, so what I did there was drag on this, and then that enables you to move your questions around. Okay, I'm going to duplicate that. Okay, annoyingly you can't put more than one picture here, which is a bit annoying. So you'd have to put all your pictures on there first, individually uploaded. I have to look through all these things. For my next one, that one. Okay, and say I've got all my pictures on there. So 1, and I'm going to haul this 2. So say I'm happy with all my images. I can rescale them. So if I go to the side of the picture, I can make it smaller. I'd advise you doing that, otherwise your questionnaire is going to be pages and pages long. Okay, so say I've got my 2 images on there, or whatever. I can make up a question, something like, which poster do you prefer? And then you can do a checkbox, so I can be like 1, 2, and whatever, but I'm not going to add other. Okay, duplicate the question, and then make it a qualitative question, qualitative data. So, why do you prefer this poster? And they might say, and then you can also make this paragraph text, so they can write a little bit in it. But with this, you want to kind of also give some kind of hint text. So in other words, give them some suggestions. So plot looks interesting. The use of props. The colour tones. The actors, etc. And so they can answer that. Okay. And it's exactly the same with the add video, okay? So you could get a YouTube video. So say I want to take the Mad Max trailer. I'll copy the URL. So that's the information at the top. And I can paste it on there. And that will then embed onto the questionnaire. So say I've finished my questionnaire and I'm happy with that. It looks good. I've got as many questions as I want. I can then send that out. So you would naturally think to press send, but actually don't do it that way because it's a much easier way. If you go to preview, it will show you what your questionnaire looks like, just to make sure that it's all looking okay. Okay. If you go to the settings, Okay, what you want to do before you send your questionnaire out is make sure that you've added me as a collaborator. So go add collaborators by the 3 dots. And then you add Talus Arts. So Talus Arts, and then press send. Okay, that means I will get a copy of your questionnaire. And if you need any help with that, I can amend it. Okay, and then you press send. Okay, so you can either email it to people, okay, and you can include the form in the email. Okay, you can get the link to the email. So you want to copy that and paste it on Snapchat, or you can paste it on Facebook or whatever. Okay, or you can embed it so you can actually go onto your website and be a permanent fixture there, although I'd recommend not doing it. You can share it on Google, you can share it on Facebook, and you can share it on Twitter. Or you can then just print it, so file, print, and then distribute it by hand. But if you do distribute it by hand and you have put some YouTube videos on there, bear in mind they're not going to be able to watch the video, okay, unless you put a link on with that. Okay, and that's how you make your questionnaire. Okay, if you want to check out some of the respondents, you just go to responses and it will have a grid of who has responded to it once you've got some answers. Okay, and that's how you do a questionnaire on Google Docs.